Hey, hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Brandon, this is LiveActuary, bringing strategies for balancing success. And in my videos, I've had a lot of opportunity to discuss the importance of receiving feedback, but in this video, we're going to be discussing how to enhance the feedback we give others. So let's get into it. Oddly enough, I've been asked to compete competitively on giving feedback in public speaking clubs, but I've also had the opportunity to teach workshops on how to give feedback. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. Timestamps are gonna be up here as per usual. The first topic is the sandwich method. I learned this while I was working for and with a bunch of psychologists. And basically, every time I'd go into my boss's office, I would leave feeling super confident, like I've learned a significant amount, like I have a lot to improve on, and that I'm just gonna go and just be amazing, be the best employee. So what they said this was initially when an individual comes into their office, they would begin with complimenting them on the work that they have seen that they've done so far. Next, they would discuss the areas that they can improve on, and finally make sure, and this is the most important part, make sure that that individual at the very end feels like they're an integral part and just very valued within the company and the processes that are put in place. The second topic is the difference between advice and feedback. Advice in an evaluation setting, if you're being evaluated, can at times feel like someone's giving you their opinion. Feedback, on the other hand, is the idea of receiving or giving information to allow that individual that's being evaluated to be able to feel motivated to make the changes for themselves. A quick trick to removing or changing advice to feedback would be limiting the amount of times you say you within your evaluation. An example of this would be if an individual in your office speaks fairly quietly at times, someone giving advice might say, "You speak quietly. When you're around the office, can you speak louder so that individuals can hear you?" If you were giving feedback to that same individual, one thing you could say, or a way you could say it, would be, "I at times have troubles hearing you around the office. I would love to hear you speak a little louder because the things you say are very valuable, and I would love to hear the confidence in your voice just as much as the confidence I feel when reading your work." But the third point is making sure that you're providing appropriate feedback. There's two areas that we can work on to enhance this. One of them is keeping an open mind. Whenever possible, before giving the individual feedback, make sure to discuss with them what their goals for development are. And just keep an open mind on the fact that everyone learns differently and everyone has different goals. So gearing your feedback towards those goals will be very helpful for that individual. The second part to providing appropriate feedback is making sure that we're providing the appropriate level of feedback. An example would be if an individual is maybe an intern or a new employee, we really want to focus on giving feedback or focusing on the good things that that individual did and focus on making that person feel confident, motivated, and valued within the system that the company as a whole has created. Once the individual has, or once you have developed a rapport with that individual, or that individual itself has had a lot more years of experience within the company or in their technical role, it's much more appropriate at that time then to dive into a lot more technical critiques of their actual work that they do. So hopefully with these three tips and anything else you have learned throughout your life, you're able to enhance the feedback you give others, make them feel confident, valued, and loved within the corporation that you work for, and that they get more motivated after having the discussion with you. As always, I'll have a life update at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But hit that like button if you like the video, subscribe, and join the actuarial journey. Leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to it. And as always, thanks for watching. The life update I have for you all is that I did a slight update to my editing rig. I purchased a used computer off Facebook Marketplace and took that graphics card from the used computer and tossed it into my computer and tossed my old graphics card into the used computer so that I at least have a little bit of an upgrade. For those of you that know what graphics cards did, I went from a 780 to a 980. It's nothing extremely large of a shift in terms of expense wise, but for now it'll work until the next generation of graphics cards get released. But as you guys can see in this video, I just really wanted to illustrate that everything seems so perfect when it's complete, but the process of getting there is so difficult sometimes. Like, I bought this graphics card and I was like, oh great, I'll just slide this thing in, and I'm like, oh wait, there's a reason why I got a reference graphics card, because it didn't fit. So I was like trying to figure out a way to angle this card in. It took like solid 10 minutes to figure out how to actually like angle this card in. I'm glad it even fit. I got pretty lucky with that part. But then, yeah, I went over to the other computer, dropped the other graphics card in, and plugged them both up. Now I have the opportunity to play video games. Specifically, I'm playing Elder Scroll Online at the moment. I'm diving into that a little bit to live a little bit outside of the current world that exists right now. And yeah, I have the opportunity now to play with 2 people. Specifically, my girlfriend and I will be playing with a bunch of other friends all over the world. On the motherboard, so like this cable's so short, it had to go all the way across. And there's no way to go behind it because it was too short. So I had to go right over my graphics card. And I don't even know if it'll fit with the other graphics card in there. But we're gonna unplug these guys. These are hopefully, yeah, a 6 and an 8 pin. So this is a graphics card. This is what a graphics card looks like.